Hello everyone, and welcome back to my tutorial of this continuous series of arithmetic expressions. So the last we saw, we just finished getting our parentheses, but sadly I didn't show you what the input was, what we finally get out of this. So all we need to do is just print out our recreate string, and we should be good. Okay? So, if we run this and we're getting an error somewhere, open parentheses. If we run this, we're getting an error here too. Oh, expression. Again, if we run this, we should get 5 times 4. And fail. E dot find parentheses. Run this again. And we got our 5 times 4. The object or the expression we are looking for. Okay? We can put in 5 times 5 times 4, and we'll get 5 times 4 because this is the innermost parentheses that we're looking for. So now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to solve our multiplication. We're not going to do our exponents because this is just arithmetic. We're not going to worry about that. We can always put it in later, but it doesn't matter. Okay? So what we're going to do is we are going to do our multiplication. Okay, so let's create a new Java class called multiplication. Okay, and in here we're going to have pretty much the same thing that we had when we were looking for our parentheses. Except we're looking for our multiplications. So we're not gonna have a constructor. We don't need to. We're just going to do. We're just going to find all the multiplications, right? So in here, in this expression, we're looking for this times, right? So we're going to do public string find multiplication. Now the reason why we're returning something is what we're returning is the expression that we're replacing. So that 5 times 4 is going to return 20, and we're sending it back to our find parentheses, so that way we can replace this with our 5 times. Okay, so in here we're doing our expression that we have, the 5 times 4, we're putting that right in here. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to find how many multipliers we have. So let's say it was 5 times 4 times 3. We need to do this 3 times, right? So we're going to first check to see how many multipliers we have. Number of multipliers. Okay, and we're just going to equal that to 0. And we're going to need our index. And that's pretty much it, just for our just setting things up. Now what we're going to do is we're going to have a while loop that's going to just check how many multipliers we have in that expression that was given in this expression. Okay, so while our index is less than our expression dot length, we are going to do string character equals our expression dot substring, our index, and then our index plus 1. Alright, and if our character dot equals the multiplication symbol, we'll just do number of, well, I'm just gonna copy this, plus plus, and that's it. And then we do our index. That way we can finally loop. We can get out of this while loop. Okay? Now that we have this, Now that we know how many times we have to go and do this, 5 times 4 times 3, we have to do it twice for one of these and then for the other one. Okay, now we're going to do something similar to what we're doing with the parentheses, replacing it. So we're replacing our 5 times 4, if there was a times 3, we're replacing the 5 times 4 with our 20, doing again with the 20 times 3. Okay, so we're doing string replace equals our expression. I'm doing a change of variable names just so that way when we're coding this we know what variables are doing what. Okay, so we first have to check what happens if there's no multiplication. Well, then we're not replacing anything, right? So we're just gonna be returning the expression that was given. Multiplier, number of multipliers. I'm spelling something wrong. Multipliers. If our number of multipliers is equal to 0, then return expression. Actually, we will return null because we can. Interesting. There you go. Else, we're going to do this. We're going to go and replace each of our expressions, right, that have a multiplication, each of our digits, the 5 and the 4, and we're going to be doing, obviously, multiplying them together. But it's not as easy as you think. So what we're first going to do is we're going to have a while loop that's going to keep doing this until our number of multipliers is less than 0. So while number of multipliers is greater than 0, we're going to go through this. So we need an index, right? So we're resetting our index to 0. So that way we start from scratch. Okay? And while the index we're on is less than our replacement.length, and we're doing -1 because you'll see why. Because we're doing our substring index +1, we have to do -1, that way we don't get an index out of bounds error. So that's why we're doing the length -1. Okay? So we're going to get our character, and we can just copy this. We're going to get our character, and if our character dot equals our times. Now you're probably wondering, why are we doing dot times? Don't we know that we're looking for multiplication? Yes, but our program doesn't know that. We have to explicitly, we're only doing our multiplications, right? We'll have another class do the division, the addition, and the subtraction. Okay? So if our character dot equals our multiplication, we're going to hold the index, okay, of this. So we're going to do our placeholder, that way we can go back to it. Because my idea is that when we get our multiplication, right, we're just going to go back until we get something other than a parentheses or plus symbol or some number. That way we just get the digit, right? So if we had 2, 5, whatever, we'll go back until, oh, we have a parentheses. Okay, so let's get this index and just move it back to our placeholder, and we'll get our 255. Okay, so our in placeholder is going to equal our index, right? And we're going to do string our digit, the first digit we're getting, right? And then our second digit that we're going to be multiplying it to our first digit. Our second digit, okay? And we're going to get our character, right? Our character equals our replace dot substring the index -1 to our index. Okay, and now this is the part where we get our first digit. While our character does not equal a plus symbol, equals a plus symbol. Now, recall, we don't have to worry about the parentheses because there are no parentheses. The only equation that we have is just this. So, if you're worried about that, hopefully I fixed those worries for you. So, next we're just going to copy this 3 more times. Okay, so we need a minus sign, division, and multiplication. Okay, so and oops, forgot to add a, let me just move this down a character. We can see everything kind of nice and neat. Okay, I'll fix that. Okay, so this is checking for our first digit. So we're going to do index minus minus, fix that. Okay, if our index is less than or equal to 0, right? And recall, this is just getting the first digit, right? So it's only going to be getting the one next to it. So if there's a plus, like 5 plus, remember it's only getting up to here because of the plus symbol. Okay, so index, our character, if it's less than 0, meaning we went way past it, or that number was just really long, we're just going to make it false. Okay, else our character is going to equal our replace dot substring index -1 to index. Okay, and we are just going to keep doing this until we find our first digit, right? But remember, this is just going to go to the index that the first digit starts at. Okay, so then all we need to do is digit equals replace dot substring our index and then our placeholder. Okay, and that seems about right. Now we can't output this just yet because we still need our second digit, but we're already almost out of time, so I'll just end it here. But pretty much we're just going through our digits, right? So we're going, okay, we have a 5, we have a 5, we have a 2, oh, we have a plus, oh no, we're ending it there. So from this index to our placeholder, which was here, that way we're just going back and we don't have to add on to another digit. We just get from here to there and we have our 255. So thank you for watching this tutorial. Yes, this tutorial is all these tutorials are going to be pretty much 15 minutes and they're going to be short. That way if you have any questions, there's not a lot of topic to ask questions on. It's just specific things. Okay, so that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching this tutorial. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. Please subscribe and hit that like button. Have a good one, folks.